Hi everybody, welcome to lesson 5 in this series of file handling techniques using a text file. We've added data to that text file and we've displayed some data, and now we're going to take that a little bit further. We're going to use some of that data and perform some calculations. So if I just play program and show you exactly what we're going to do, if I just ignore everything and just go straight to display records, open input file, and if I just filter through a few, let's go to the last one because the last one's nice and easy. Hours worked 1, rate of pay 100. If I click on this calculate button, gross pay should be 100 because 1 hour times 100 is 100 obviously. There we go. Tax at 25%, national insurance, so deduction of tax and national insurance gives us our net pay of £67.50. So that's what we're going to be looking at, how to actually program that. Okay, so if I go into farm payroll and I look at the code behind farm payroll, there's a few things I need to do. The first thing I need to do is I need to define my variables. So I've set up HRS for hours, rate, gross, net, tax, national insurance, RNI, all self-explanatory really, and I've declared them all as singles. Okay, so that's the very first thing that you need to do. So you set yourself up your variables, and we'll continue in a minute. Okay, hopefully you've done that, you've set up your variables, and it's time to move on and retrieve some data from the text file. And what we're actually retrieving is just these two: hours worked and rate of pay. We're going to take that information from those text boxes, convert it to singles, and then we're going to perform some calculations using just those two pieces of information. So what we need to say is that hours is going to be equal to, and then we're going to use this class convert to single, and then the actual text box text that we want to convert. So just to go over that again, first thing we write is the variable that we want the information to be stored in. We make that variable equal to. We use the class convert command, dot to single, open our bracket, specify the text box and the property dot text. So in other words, take the information from text hours, place it in hours, the variable hours, and convert it to a data type that's of the same of hours, so in other words single. And we do the same with rate. So you set those up and pause the video and we'll continue in a second. Okay, hopefully you're back and you've done that, and we're on to now calculate the pay details. Sorry. Okay, so we've got gross equals hours times rate, nice easy on that one. And then we're going to say that the tax is equal to gross times 25 divided by 100, which is a simple calculation to work out 25%. And we're going to say the national insurance is equal to gross times 7.5 times 100, divided by 100, which is obviously 7.5% of the gross. So just to reiterate, that tax is worked out at 25% of gross, and national insurance is worked out at 7.5% of gross. There are other ways that you can work out actual percentages. You could have said times by 0.25, you could have said times by 0.075. Whatever people are used to, they have preferences. So if you want to change that, use to another way of doing it, be my guest, don't worry about that. And then the net is equal to the gross minus the tax and the national insurance. Okay, so you get yourself set up with those. Pause the video and then we'll move on to the next one in a second. Okay, hopefully you're back, and we just need to display all the results to the form, to the interface. So text gross, so in other words the text box is equal to the variable gross, and then I do a conversion to string, and then what I've got in brackets here, speech marks, is I'm forcing it to write it in a particular way. So it will write a pound symbol. The #0 will specify that the integer part of the data type of single is there's no limit to it. So if there's 3 digits, it will write 3. If there's 1 digit, it will write 1, etc., etc. And the .00 will set it to 2 decimal places. So if there's a third or fourth decimal place, it will round it up and force it to write in a form that we're used to as currency, basically. And we do the same with txt tax.text. So don't forget, what we're actually doing now is doing the opposite of what we've previously done. We're now converting variables to strings and putting them in the text boxes to be displayed. Couldn't get my words out there for a second. That's okay, you pause that one and we'll continue in a second. Okay, hopefully you've got all the code set in. Before you press run, there's just one last thing that I need to go through with you. On these text boxes here, you'll notice, or you may have noticed that we've got an enabled value and it's set at true. On these text boxes, we want to set those values to false, so basically they can't be used when the program runs. You can't put information in there. Okay, and then once you've done that, you're ready to run the program. And what you should get is, don't forget your add records formula will appear first. If we just jump straight to display a record, let's open the input file, calculate the pay, let's go to the next record, calculate the pay, next record, calculate pay, and so on. So filter through those, have a look at that, and you should be done. Okay, hopefully that's been useful, and I'll set some tasks for you in lessons. Okay, thank you very much.